the moment, we feel like we have the most comprehensive collection of Mojave Desert cactus and succulents at any public garden in the world. And it's a great educational tool for us to teach people about what's special about plants in the Mojave Desert. How do these plants really survive here in the harshest desert that we have in North America?
And this comprehensive collection is special enough in many ways to be worthy of national recognition.
We've applied to have it certified as a national collection, and we've recently been reviewed by a reviewer from the North American Plant Collections Consortium to see whether we qualify for that national certification.
When he visited the preserve to review the collection, Paul Mills brought with him years of practical experience with cactus in the field and at the well-respected California garden called Lotus Land.
Cacti and succulents, that's the group of plants that I've always worked with most closely. Before coming to Lotus Land, I had worked at a nursery in Carpinteria called Abbey Garden Cactus and Succulent Nursery. That was one of the premier cactus and succulent nurseries. And I think that's part of the reason I was selected for this site review. I'm here largely to validate the application, to observe the care of the collection, the maintenance, and the curation of the collection. And also, what's important to NAPCC is to confirm the long-term commitment of the institution to this collection.
And our commitment to conservation is evident in the way we bank our seeds and grow our own plants whenever possible in an attempt to further protect many sensitive specimens.
So collecting seed from those plants or collecting cuttings and growing on more plants so that we do not have to be constantly going out into the wild to collect more of these plants. So keeping that going forever by collecting the seeds and growing out the plants is really an important part of the conservation mission of the preserve and part of being national collection.
Along with the opportunities we offer visitors to interact with and understand these essential desert plants.
It's important how the collection is used. Again, obviously there's a lot of that going on the property. I mean, this is an amazing place, but I'm here mainly for this collection in particular. And obviously it lends itself to education of the native plants of the Mojave Desert, water-wise plants, which is obviously a theme of the whole property. So that is important as well, the use of the collection.
In a continuing commitment to plants that is inseparable from a commitment to the planet.
Plant conservation, biodiversity of the planet is under increasing threat. Botanic gardens are literally life rafts for threatened species, so we have to embrace them and support them.
That's why we're already in the early stages of planning what we hope will be our next national collection of native Mojave penstemon.
We currently have a great display garden of penstemon of the Southwest that is spectacular for people to see in the springtime and is very attractive to hummingbirds. And we would not give that away, but we would like to build on that by adding more and more of these Mojave penstemon and hopefully someday have a national collection of Mojave penstemon to go along with our Mojave cactus and succulent collection. We are hoping to begin collecting seed this summer and into fall. Most penstemon are spring bloomers, so seeds are available in summer and fall, and we're hoping to start this year to build this collection.
But we already have a number of the loveliest penstemons which will be blooming and perfuming the air of the preserve this spring.
We have the fragrant penstemon, Penstemon palmeri, which is one of the few really fragrant penstemon, and it should begin blooming in March. We have firecracker penstemon, a bright red, which is one of the most popular hummingbird plants. You almost always see hummingbirds clustered around them, and that again should begin blooming in February or March.
Even as our new and greatly improved rose garden will be in flower for the first time.
The rose garden was quite spectacular when it was originally planted 5 years ago, but over time the roses had deteriorated. The soils were not great for the roses. The soil was covered with a rock mulch, which created too much heat for the roses in the summertime. So over time they had gradually deteriorated.
But now we've brought this garden back to life by amending its soil and planting its beds with the latest and hottest varieties of roses.
Working in cooperation with the Las Vegas Rose Society, we came up with a list of roses that are especially well adapted to heat, and found a nursery in California that was willing to make a donation to the Springs Preserve of 350 rose plants to augment our rose garden.
and they were specifically chosen to bloom longer than usual, which should give you plenty of time to enjoy a garden that was designed to be an immersive experience and to give you the literal and symbolic pleasure of stopping to smell the roses.